What if the real reasons you're not building wealth are the reasons no one talks about? Welcome back to Empower and Thrive. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but wealth still feels out of reach, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into 10 truths about money that most people avoid, but understanding them could change your entire financial future. Some of these truths might challenge the way we usually think about money, but they are shared with the goal of helping you move forward with confidence and a fresh sense of possibility. Wherever you are right now, there is always a way to grow and move forward, and understanding these ideas can open new doors for your financial future. Many people are quietly overwhelmed by the kind of money advice that sounds good but doesn't match the reality they're living. You've probably seen success stories that make it all look effortless, but they rarely show the reality of starting from zero. And if you've ever felt like you're the only one struggling to keep up, you're not. This is more common than people think. It's just not something we talk about openly. But today, we are. We're getting real about the truths no one likes to say out loud, but are crucial if you want to build lasting wealth. These are the things that can shift your mindset, sharpen your focus, and help you move forward with clarity. Let's dive in. Truth number 1, not everyone starts from the same place. It's easy to compare yourself to someone who made it big by 30 or even younger. Their story might seem inspiring on the surface, but what we often don't see is the invisible scaffolding behind their success. In some cases, they're people who were born with a head start most of us could only dream of. And while it's not their fault they were born into privilege, it does mean their version of success was built on a foundation that isn't available to everyone. For the rest of us, the path looks very different. It can mean struggling for years or even decades just to get close to where someone else started from. You might have to learn things the hard way, make sacrifices others don't even think about, or carry the weight of generational financial trauma. That can feel deeply unfair. And honestly, it is unfair. But here's the truth that can empower you. Once you stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline, you can start focusing on building something that's truly yours. You're not behind anyone, you are on your own path. Your journey might look different from others, but it can still lead to meaningful, lasting success that's aligned with your values and built in your own time. Don't get bogged down in pondering the unfairness of life. Focus on where you are, what you can do next, and keep building your version of success, one step at a time. Truth number 2, financial literacy isn't taught, you have to seek it out. Most of us didn't learn how to manage money in school. We were taught how to write essays and memorize facts, but not how to budget, invest, or file taxes. So when we hit adulthood, we're expected to make smart financial decisions with zero training. That knowledge gap isn't your fault, but if you want to be wealthy, it is up to you to close it. The good news? You don't need a finance degree to get good with money. Read books, listen to podcasts, follow credible financial educators, watch videos, and ask questions, even the ones that feel too basic. The truth is, everyone starts somewhere. What matters isn't how much you know today, but how willing you are to learn consistently over time. Don't be ashamed of what you don't know. There are people out there who make a lot of money and still feel lost with finances because they've never taken the time to build that foundational understanding. Self-education is one of the most powerful tools you have. Every step you take to learn, even if it feels small, is a step toward power. Truth number 3, earning a high income doesn't mean you're good with money. It might sound shocking, but many people who earn 6 figures, or even multiple 6 figures, still live paycheck to paycheck. You might assume that once you hit a certain income level, all your financial problems will disappear. But that's rarely the case. Why? Because lifestyle inflation is very real. As income increases, spending tends to rise right alongside it. And if you're not careful, you can find yourself in the same financial stress, just in a more expensive zip code. A big paycheck might make you feel rich, but true wealth comes from what you save and grow, not just what you earn. You don't need to wait until you're earning a massive salary to start building wealth. In fact, some of the wealthiest people started small, stayed consistent, and lived below their means even as their income grew. It's not glamorous and it doesn't look impressive on social media, but it's effective. If you can master managing your money at a modest income level, you're building the habits and mindset that will serve you no matter how much you eventually earn. Truth number 4, most people spend to escape, not to enjoy. Spending can be deeply emotional, and that is something many of us experience at different points in our lives. It might be stress after a long day, boredom, or burnout. In those moments, clicking buy often feels like control, comfort, or even self-care. More often than not, that kind of spending is short-lived satisfaction. The package arrives and the emotions are still there, but now with a side of regret or financial anxiety. Becoming aware of your emotional relationship with money can open the door to real change. Start asking yourself, what am I really feeling right now? Once you notice the underlying emotions, you begin shifting out of autopilot. You stop using money to fill emotional gaps and instead start using it with purpose. Spending with intention is essential on the path to financial freedom. Truth number 5, saving alone won't make you rich. While saving is essential, it's not enough by itself to make you wealthy. You can be the best budgeteer in the world, but if your money isn't growing, you're not building wealth. One does not simply budget their way to financial freedom. Building true wealth is about growth, and real growth often comes from learning how to invest. That might feel intimidating at first, especially if no one ever taught you how it works, or if you've been told it's too risky or only for the wealthy. But investing is how small amounts, handled wisely, can grow into something meaningful over time. Whether it's through real estate, stocks, index funds, or something else, the goal isn't to gamble, it's to grow. Investing is about being thoughtful, strategic, and consistent. It's about trusting that small steps today can create big changes down the line. Yes, there's some risk involved, but that risk can be managed. And the sooner you begin, the more time your money has to work for you through the power of compounding. You don't need to be an expert to get started, just open to learning and willing to think long term. Every dollar you invest is a quiet act of belief in your future self, and one day, you'll be so glad you took that leap. Truth number 6, most financial advice is built for people who already have money. Here's another one no one tells you. Tips like just max out your retirement account or put 20% down on a home often come from a place of privilege. Most of the people giving that advice already have millions and started with advantages many of us can only dream of. They assume you already have stability, savings, and access to resources. But if you're climbing out of debt, juggling bills, or living paycheck to paycheck, that kind of advice can feel completely out of reach, if not downright discouraging. What actually helps is having guidance that meets you where you are. That means setting realistic goals, celebrating small but meaningful wins, and building momentum over time. Even saving a few dollars consistently or paying down one credit card can be a powerful start. Long-term wealth is built brick by brick, not through perfect plans that only work for people who are already ahead. And that's okay. You don't need to do it all at once, you just need to start. Even tiny steps forward are still steps forward. Truth number 7, you're going to mess up, and that's okay. Let's be honest, you're going to make mistakes. Maybe a big one, maybe more than one. Everyone does. You might overspend, fall for a scam, invest in the wrong thing, or feel completely lost. But that doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're learning. It's part of the process. The goal isn't perfection, it's learning, evolving, and getting better over time. The people who build real wealth aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who recover, adjust, and keep going. Many people feel that as soon as they make one mistake, they need to stop. Either stop investing, stop budgeting, stop working, etc. Remember that financial growth can be messy, everyone will make mistakes. What separates people who become successful and those who don't can be the strength and courage to dust yourself off and try again. Be kind to yourself and keep going. Truth number 8, discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation is a great Kickstarter, but it fades. It gives you that spark, that surge of energy to start something new, but it's inconsistent. Some days you just won't feel like budgeting, cooking at home, limiting spending, or even checking your accounts. That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement wears off. It's the quiet, powerful habit of following through, especially when it's boring, inconvenient, or hard. It's choosing to follow through on what you said you'd do, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Over time, that kind of consistency builds momentum, and that's often the difference between staying stuck and finally breaking through. And the best part, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Truth number 9, you probably can't afford to wait. Waiting for the perfect time to invest, save, or start that side hustle can quietly eat up years. The truth is, there's rarely a perfect time. Life stays busy, costs go up, and every year you wait is another year you miss out on compound growth and progress. Starting small is always better than waiting for the ideal situation. Remember the saying, buy low, sell high. When the markets are down, it's usually when wealthy people are buying. That makes sure you will be invested when the market inevitably goes back up again. Don't let hesitation steal your future. Truth number 10, wealth doesn't fix everything. This might be the hardest truth of all. Yes, money gives you freedom, security, and options, but it won't heal your relationships, fix your self-worth, or erase deeper struggles. In fact, money can sometimes amplify what's already there. That's why it's so important to work on both your financial health and your emotional well-being. Building wealth is powerful, but it's only part of the bigger picture. You don't need to have it all figured out, and you definitely don't need to be perfect. What matters most is being honest with yourself and approaching your financial journey with patience and self-compassion. These truths might be uncomfortable, but they can also be empowering because once you see things clearly, you can start making meaningful change. And you're very capable of building a future that truly works for you. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep thriving.